Kaptivating Conversations, authentic conversations to loving relationships. My name is Maddie Zarina Whitfield, and you are tuning in to Kaptivating Conversations. Today we're going to have a question from an audience member who actually sent in a question, and he asks, what do you think about interracial dating? Now, I do think humbly that interracial dating is bigger than me. So I wanted to do this as a live conversation with my audience to find out just what do you all think about interracial dating and what are your stances on it? Have you ever participated in an interracial dating relationship? How was it? Do you still get the 1950, 1920 stares from people currently in 2017? Or are you able to just love freely to whereas it doesn't matter what color they are, what color their skin, how they look, you can just completely be you and be in a loving relationship. So that's what we're going to talk about today. So let's talk about my view personally. Personally, Maddie, have you ever been in an interracial relationship? I have not. I have not had the beauty or the pleasure of dating outside of my race. I think for one, because I come from Chicago, and Chicago happens to be one of the most segregated cities that there is in my area. I'm from the south side of Chicago, not the bad part. All of it's love around there. But in my side, Beverly, we have a lot of diversity, but we don't have a lot of diversity. So I wasn't raised, or I wasn't, what would be the word? I wasn't pleasured to be able to see other races in my school until I got to high school. And by the time I got to high school, it was kind of you hang with your kind, you hang with your kind. It wasn't as diverse as the school really was. And then I went to an all-black college and lived in an all-black neighborhood. So majority of the men that I've dated, not that many, has only been black. But I do have other family members that have dated outside of their race. So I've had an opportunity to see it and to see the love. So truly, from my standpoint, I believe that love is colorblind. Real love in its true and most authentic state doesn't have a color. Your souls meet. Your spirits meet. Spirits, and they don't have colors. Souls don't have colors. You either like the person or you don't. You're attracted to them or you're not. The color of their skin shouldn't matter, but it does in 2017. But personally, it doesn't matter for me. I'm not a woman, and I would love to know, are you a person that when you see someone outside of your race with someone of your race, do you get mad? Do you get angry? I have some family members and some friends that'll see a black man with a white woman. If their eyes could kill, those men and women would be dead where they stand. They get so angry and just seething with frustration, all because of their relationship. Why? You don't want them. You don't want to be bothered with them. Is that something? Did she take your man? Or you just see them and you, oh, look at them. He had to go get a white woman. Well, maybe he fell in love with her despite her skin color. Maybe it's something beautiful about her that he absolutely loves. Or that woman with that black woman. Maybe it's something beautiful about her that he absolutely loves. Love is love, isn't it? Isn't love just really love when you really take a honest look at it? Now, we have someone here, he says, love is someone's for everyone. No, I have not dated outside my race other than Philippine. Okay. But again, someone is for everyone. Philippine. I would love to know how that relationship went. Is a great question that I have when I have these interracial dating conversations. Is it really just a black or white thing? Do people just really look at the interracial dating with black being white, black and white relationships? Or I was talking to my Instagram live earlier, and a gentleman mentioned that he used to date a young lady who was Latino, and he didn't catch a lot of trouble from the Latino crowd. I mean, from his black people, friends, family, but he caught a lot from the Latino crowd. And it was the men. The men are he said that the men are very protective of their women, that they didn't want him to date her. So is that a factor that every culture has? Or is it just that every culture really just wants their own people, to date their own people? Is it not just a black and white issue? Is it a color issue, period? I'm very interested if you know anyone who's in a relationship. Actually, you know what? I'm in class right now for transformational living, transformational work. And my instructor, he is a white male. His wife is a Filipino lady. Beautiful couple. Been married over 10 years. Have a beautiful relationship. But they are in a different race. I wonder, do they catch the same eyes of people staring? Because I've heard from different people that they still actually have people who look at them with eyes of distrust and displeasing, to whereas they're judging them just because who they fell in love with. Like, really look at that. Someone actually taking it upon themselves and having the audacity to judge you based upon who you're in love with, who you choose to date. What gives a person the power to say, hey, you shouldn't date that person because they're white. You shouldn't date that person because they're black. I had a beautiful instance. My daughter, I have a daughter and a son. And my daughter, we went to Disney World. And we're at Animal Kingdom watching Lion King. Beautiful concert, beautiful experience. Another family sat right next to us. And the little boy sat next to my daughter. Me and the other mother, we look over and they're holding hands. And they're just smiling and watching the show and having a good time. Now, mind you, they have never met. They've never met. They just actually sat down at this concert play and completely their souls met. As if they had known each other all 5 years of their little existence. They're smiling, they're laughing. I mean, just like completely what people would call weird. It's not weird. It's authentic. Love doesn't have a color. Racism isn't taught at birth. Racism isn't something that you're born with. Racism is a learned behavior that parents and people around those children teach their children. My child wasn't taught to be racist, and obviously this little boy wasn't either. All they saw was another human being who their spirits connected with. And at this particular point, at this concert, they chose to enjoy each other. They chose to enjoy the company of each other. And it was almost like we couldn't pull them apart. We weren't trying to. But we had to tell them, hey, pay attention to Lion King. Because they're just engaging in conversation, laughing. At the end of the show, they didn't even want to leave each other. What's that? That's not racism. That's just authentic. Authentic love at its purest form and its purest state. Nobody was looking at them funny. No judgmental eyes. None of that. They had two loving families that supported them. Now, some of the men saw the pictures of the photos. They was like, how you got my daughter holding that little boy hand. But it was more from a playful standpoint, not from his color, but from just the fact that she a little girl, men being protective. But color wasn't an issue. That's the point. She didn't see color. She didn't know what he was. She didn't know that he was white or whatever he was. He didn't know that she was black. No one cared. It didn't matter. Why does it matter? Why does it really matter? At the end of the day, aren't we all just a human race? That's what we are. We're not animals. We don't identify with lions. We may have some of the characteristics that people try to say, okay, well, you have lion characteristics, how you go out and get this. And I mean, really, do you really believe that we came from monkeys? I don't know about y'all, but I don't look like no damn monkey. I came out of my mama's belly. My mama came out of her mother, and we all came out of more people. If you believe in God, then you believe that God created people. He created man, and then he created woman from a man's rib, not a monkey. So we are the human race as a whole. Some people are more tan than others. Some people are lighter than others. Some people have these beautiful, unique cheeks, nose. Like today, I have my little bun. So some people may say, oh, Maddie, you look Asian. Okay. Is that beautiful? I think it's beautiful. I think Asian is beautiful. I think white is beautiful. Caucasian, black. Everybody's color of brown or light brown It's gorgeous. So why is it a problem when it comes to love? Why can't people just love authentically? Why do you still judge in love? Then we wonder why racism is still here. It's still so prevalent. Now, a young lady told me that she read a study. I didn't read it myself, so I'm not going to say that because I don't like to misquote myself. But a young lady told me that she read a study where in the next 50 years, everybody will be biracial, except for the people who came before. So, in 50 years, I'll still be here. Most of you all will still be here. So that means that all of our children will be a little bit of everything. But the reality is, aren't we already a little bit of everything? One of the most beautiful things that I saw is the Ancestry.com, their DNA test. Have you seen the commercial where they have these people take the DNA test and then they get their results back and everybody's a little bit of everything? And the nationality that they thought they checked off on the box really isn't their primary nationality? That people who thought that they were from Czechoslovakia really have a little bit of Asian and have a little bit of this, and the Caucasian person really has a little bit of black and a little bit of Indian, and the black person has a little bit of white and Asian and everybody else? Aren't we really just one big melting pot? So in one big melting pot, shouldn't love be allowed? Now, that's just my stance. I believe love is love. I believe love should be colorblind. I believe that people are assigned to people. That when you meet somebody, it's never by accident. Never by accident. If it was a good relationship or a bad relationship, it's not by accident. Do you agree with me? If you agree with me, let me see you say make a heart or some likes. Do you believe that relationships are an accident no matter what color they are? Yes, absolutely. Love is love in its purest form. Now, I had somebody ask me, Maddie, what about your children? Would you allow your children? Now, I just went into my daughter, but let me tell you about my son. My son is 11, and he's in middle school. So, in middle school, the girls are previewed to more TV. They're previewed to more, thank you, Sean. Thank you, Tio and Daryl and Bashan. They're previewed to more TV. They're previewed to more programming is what I call it, because that's what it is, television programming. So his school is diverse, very diverse. And he came home one day, and it actually was very disheartening as an African-American woman to hear what he had to say, because he came home one day and he says, Mom, we have conversations about girls. And he said, Mom, I asked him, do you have a girlfriend? Got somebody you like? Because I'm not going to have a child that doesn't have a conversation about girls and don't quite know how to have that conversation. So I said, anybody you like? Anybody you want to date? You want to know how to go on a date or how to do this? So he says, Mom, there are some pretty girls at my school. There are. However, the black girls are the meanest girls in the school. The black girls are the meanest girls in the school. From a young African-American boy to a mother, that's disheartening. Not just because I was a young black girl, but because I have a daughter. And I remember being a kid, couldn't pay me to go back to school. Not in 2017, because the bullying was something when I was in school. Auntie Joyce, the bully was something when I was in school, but now today, with these cameras and these phones and things of that nature, is to a whole different level. But the fact that he thought that the black girls were the meanest girls in the school, he said, Mommy, when I speak to them, they got an attitude. They don't speak back. They don't say anything. They, who you talking to? Rolling up their nose. And all I did was say hi. Does that sound familiar? You have men today, grown men today, that say that about grown women. That they mean that, they, when you speak to them, when you hold a door for them, when you do anything for them, they get offended, they're mad, they're angry. Now, we have black women, African American women, that I understand. They have been through a lot of hurt. We have been through a lot of hurt, a lot of things. We could have baggage that's holding on that could make you mean. But an 11-year-old, what's she mad about? What, your schoolwork too hard? Life is rough? I mean, in the area that I live in, your home situation shouldn't be that bad. So what are you mad about? Why are you so angry? Why aren't you enjoying life? Why aren't you enjoying love? Just loving life and being a kid. Or are you seeing it on TV that it's cute to be mad? Are you seeing it on those crazy TV shows that's how you're supposed to act? You know the TV shows. Love and Hip Hop. Name them. Name all the TV shows that show the drama of how you're supposed to act like a fool. That are showing our kids. Bad Girls Club. Yeah. All of those TV shows that are making it okay to be dramaful. That are making it okay to be mean. For no good reason. Why? Why? You're a kid. Disney Channel, like Disney XD, it's went all the way up to XD where you have people that are all the way up to 18 years old showing love. Parents, what are your kids watching? Because it's really your responsibility. Yeah, they got a TV in their room, but you can watch what they're watching. You can check what they're watching on their phone. You can check what they're doing. Because what's happening is the children are being programmed. If my son is telling me that little black girls are mean to him, what am I supposed to tell him? Now, I tell him, let me tell you what I do tell him. What I do tell him is, baby, don't make that everybody. Everybody's not like that. She may have had a bad day. And the other one may have had a bad day too. But how many bad days can I actually keep telling him? How many excuses can I keep making for him? It's the parent's responsibility to help groom your daughter so that when he gets older and he's the successful black man that he's going to be, he won't have such hurtful memories from a child of how young black girls used to treat him. You get the connection? And that's in my child. That's a child that doesn't really, I went to lunch with him. It's one black girl at his table. Everybody else is from somewhere else. All of the kids are mixed in. Racism is a learned behavior. And they learn it at home. At home is where they learn it. What you do for them, responsibility-wise, is how they learn it. Teach them that love is love. But in teaching them that love is love, also hold yourself responsible. My hair coming all down. Also hold yourself responsible for making sure your children love. I don't know if you noticed, I actually, I watch a lot of the TV shows with my kids. And, good question, Roger. I'm going to answer that. In a lot of the TV shows where he watches, the parents are interracial. White, black, white, Filipino, black, this. I can't say, and I would love for you all to help me if you watch, if you view your children's shows as we should. I have not seen the black father and the other race of woman. I've seen the black mother a lot. I've seen the Filipino and the white. I've seen the Hispanic and another color. But I haven't seen the black male in media as the father. So if you have one, please list it. And I'm not saying that it isn't possible. I'm just saying that I haven't seen it. I don't watch all the TV shows in the world. But in his TV shows, in my daughter's TV shows, it's becoming programming that interracial families are it. So it's becoming normal. It's going to exist. So if you really have a problem with it, that's something personal that I think you should take care of. Now, Amir says, what about different languages? What do you mean? Do you mean when the couples speak different languages, like one speaks English and one speaks another language? Is that hard? Or Be a little more specific with that. Now, I'm going to go to the comments right quick and see. I had someone ask me a fantastic one. Roger says he's going to date white women, and if he does, would you be mad? I would not be mad. He does have some family members that would. Just being real. Here's where I would have the concern. I would have the concern that if he just fell in love with a white girl, fell in love with a Hispanic girl, no problem. But I would have a concern with if he's broken, heartbroken by his memories of black girls, that he says, forget them, I'm only going to date this race. That's where I would have a problem. Because that means that he needs to heal. That it's not necessarily that he just is meeting someone and falling in love with someone, but he's intentionally going after another race because he's hurt. I think that's a problem, male or female. For black women, I think for black women to say, you know what, I'm done with black men. They ain't this, they ain't that, they ain't that. So I'm only dating this other race. I think that's a problem because it's not genuine. It's not authentic. You're not dating this other race just because you just so happen to fall in love with this other race. You're dating this other race out of hurt for another. That's just like being hurt by one man and moving on to a next one when you haven't healed. Being hurt by one woman and moving on to a next one when you haven't healed. You're still taking that baggage with you. So your relationship with that other person won't even be authentic because you're not being authentic to yourself. So if he did it out of hurt, yes, we would have to work on that. If he did it out of mere love, you met her, you all connected, great conversation, she treats you like the king that you are, hey, I have nothing to do with that. So it's all in where their motive is for me. It's all in why they seek to attract this person for me. Let's see. Okay, black men are tired of how black women talk to them and how they act and how superficial they are. Not saying me, but I do understand. I do understand too. Absolutely. That is a part of how Kaptivating Konversations was born. Because I have beautiful black women friends and I see relationships and I talk to a lot of men that are tired. They are tired of being verbally abused. They are tired of sticking their neck out and going out and doing everything that they possibly can in their power for their ladies and being talked to like shit. I get it. Being treated like shit. I get it. I completely get it. But I also have to say that's a problem in what they're attracting. I think the man should take some responsibility for that. Because you keep getting what you attract. So it's something that you need to do there. It's something that you need to do in attracting the woman that you're getting. The verbal abuse is getting out of hand completely. I completely agree, Roger. And actually one of our next episodes is on verbal abuse for men. Because I think one of the problems is women don't know. A lot of women don't know. A lot of women don't know that some of the things that they say are verbally abusive. They don't understand that a lot of what they're doing affects how they're being treated. All black women act like that. Now I disagree with you because I'm a black woman and I don't. And I know a lot of black women who don't. So you can't say all. That's like me saying all black men are bums. I know that's not true. There are some black men out here that are not what the media portrays them to be. They're awesome fathers. They're awesome providers. They're not cheaters. They're honest. They're dignified. They're successful. You black? I am. I am black. So there are some beautiful black women and some beautiful black men. But what we have to focus on is what you're attracting. If you think that all black women are like that, and that's constantly what you focus on, that's constantly what you're going to attract. You have to put out there the woman that you desire to have. What does she do? How does she look? How does she treat you? Does she treat you like a king? Does she talk to you in love? Does she talk to you in building you up? They exist, and they want to do that for a king. They want to do that for what they consider a king as a black man. No offense to anybody else, but they want to do that. And You just have to attract her. She's there. She's waiting on you. So we have where are the beautiful black women? Women, if you are a queen that talks to your man in love, that's looking for that one man to love on, love him back to life, and you have no problem with being, I'm going to say submissive. Not submissive as weak, but submissive as in love and loving on him, and you understand verbal abuse and you're not verbally abusive. Comment on the page. I got men looking for you all. Don't just put me out there like you don't exist. I know you exist. I talk to you. I hear you asking where are the men. So we can get like a little love thing going on where you all can start commenting and all that good stuff. I had a girlfriend that didn't speak English at all, and our relationship was lovely, and I didn't speak her language, all body language. Okay. Now, body language is a big part of communication. It is. It's actually bigger than, it's one of the biggest. I read body language, but how long did that last? Because words create. Words have power. So if you can't speak words, then what did you all really do? Was it completely physical? I don't know. But to sum it up, and we definitely can stay on this conversation, but to sum it up, I personally believe that love has no color. Love is colorblind. I think that racism is learned, and I think that in our children, they don't see it. So just as an adult, we've been programmed to see it. So if you have someone that you're interested in and that you've been feeling, and they're just another race, don't allow somebody else's unhappiness to decide yours. Sure, you may get the look still in 2017. I've heard people say that they still get them. However, they're not you. They're not in your world, and they don't control your love life. Don't miss out on something fantastic just because that person is another color. Don't miss out on something wonderful because that person is another color. However, if you're just seeking this other race out of hurt, I think that you should do something to heal first. Do something to heal your current relationship, and then go after the person that you desire to have. Because if you go into a relationship hurt and broken, and you don't allow that person to know that you're hurt and broken, and give them an opportunity to help you love back to life, then the next relationship is going to simply be the same thing. So this is Kaptivating Conversations. I am Maddie Zarina Whitfield. Please tune in next Tuesday for another awesome episode. You can catch me at mzwhitfield.com. Talk to you soon. Smooches.